was. We're all over this developing story tonight with team coverage. Danny Carlson looking at how this decision happened. But let's start in Battle Creek. Crystal Hilliard just spoke with Thomas Cress's son. She's live.
Brett, he was convicted of raping, killing, and beating a 17-year-old girl back in 1983. And now he is going to walk. Now, here at the prosecutor's office, they have stood by the original conviction, but today, like you heard, Governor Jennifer Granholm commuted Thomas Cress's life sentence to time served. Now, Cresss has been in prison for 25 years, declaring his innocence in the murder of 17-year-old Patricia Rozansky. Prosecutors charged him with first-degree murder after authorities found the teen's body in a wooded area in Calhoun County, about 50 miles southwest of Lansing. Now, in 2003, the Michigan Supreme Court refused to grant Cresss a new trial, even after another man confessed to the crime and the prosecutor's office had destroyed the physical evidence. The state board unanimously voted to let him go, and we spoke to his son today, who had a lot of things to say. Take a listen.
Well, I haven't seen him in probably 15 years, so it's pretty serious. It's pretty serious to me anyway. It means a lot. I finally get to meet my dad, you know.
Now, his son was only 6 years old when his dad was sent to prison, so as you can imagine, this is going to be a pretty historic day when his father comes home, but that is still going to take at least another month, because from here, the parole board will vote again on whether or not they will decide to let him go. They voted unanimously before. They're going to vote again, and then they will set his parole terms. We're live in Battle Creek tonight. Crystal Hilliard, 24-Hour News 8.
Team coverage continues now with more on how this decision happened. Danny Carlson has more from the live desk. Danny?
Brett, I spoke with Cress's attorneys earlier this afternoon, and they work for University of Michigan's Innocence Clinic, and they said that today's commutation and their involvement may have never even happened if it wasn't for the help and the hard work of two Battle Creek police officers. His attorney told me today, after Cresss was convicted of Rozansky's murder in 1985, years later, Battle Creek Commander Joe Newman and homicide detective Dennis Mullen were investigating the murder of another young Battle Creek woman, Maggie Hume. They started to think Cresss may be innocent, and Michael Ronning, a convicted killer who was serving a life sentence in Arkansas at the time, killed both Hume and Rozansky. But even after Ronning admitted he did kill Rozansky, Cresss never got a new trial and eventually exhausted all of his appeals.
Well, I'm very pleased for Tom Cress that he's going to be freed, because it's always been our contention that he didn't kill Patricia Rozansky, that Michael Ronning did. And so we've worked, very hard over a number of years to get to this point. So I'm very pleased that we're there.
So what's the next step for Cresss? As Crystal mentioned, he can't just walk out of prison right now. His attorneys tell me that first the warden has to look at him and see if there's any other reason that he should stay in jail, if there are any other crimes that he needs to serve time for. She says there isn't anything else that he did wrong in Cress's particular case. Then they have to set up a parole plan for Cresss, because even though his sentence was commuted, his attorney tells me that he has to serve an automatic 4 years on parole. And another interesting thing is, she says since no court ever acknowledged that there was any wrongdoing in Cress's conviction and the time that he served, he has no grounds for a civil suit for wrongful imprisonment. So she said the most important thing, though, at this point is that's not something that he's very interested in. He's just interested in getting out of jail and spending time with his family. At the live desk tonight, Danny Carlson, 24-Hour News 8.
The Calhoun County prosecutor has released a stern statement within the past hour saying, quote, "I am greatly disappointed in the actions of Governor Granholm in commuting the sentence of Thomas Cress. To commute the sentence of Thomas Cress ignores the evidence presented at a trial and at subsequent post-conviction hearings, and is an injustice to Patty Rozansky and the surviving members of her family," unquote. Well, here's a timeline of the case. In February of 1983, Patty Rozansky disappeared on her way to Battle Creek Central High School. Then 2 months later, her body was found in a ravine that was west of Battle Creek. Then in 1985, Tom Cress was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life without parole. Things took a turn in 1986 when Battle Creek detectives got a tip that serial killer Michael Ronning was in the area when Rozansky and 2 other women were killed. More than a decade later, Ronning signed an affidavit admitting that he killed Rozansky. Now, later in 1997, the Calhoun County Circuit Court ordered a new trial. The Michigan Court of Appeals did the same thing in 2002. But then in 2003, things changed. The Michigan Supreme Court overruled those decisions. Then earlier this year, Cresss had an 8-hour hearing before the State Parole and Commutation Board, which put this case on Governor Granholm's desk. Now, we have a whole lot more information on this case, including archived stories posted right now at woodtv.com. You can go there and check those out.